Sup, snail suckers. Reporting live from Flanders Field, it's your guy, Moon of Glasses, and I have another tier list specifically for you. Yes, you, the individual, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you don't, tell me why. And if you do, also tell me why. I really like the engagement. Positive reinforcement, a hell of a drug, let me tell you. And that's really the only reason why you got another one. So, thank you. Hey, it's a pretty nice tank there. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Woo! Hello and welcome to the tier list part of the video, where if my opinions are right and you agree with them, that means they were always right and they're as good as gold. And if you disagree with my opinions, that means they were never my opinions and you have every right to call me out in the comments. Wink, wink. Remember to like and subscribe if you found any of this helpful, useful, or entertaining in any way, shape, and or form. Let us begin. Tunisia. This map, you know what? We're starting off strong. I do not mind this map. I think Tunisia can be rather fun. It has a little bit of everything for everyone. If you want to snipe, you got that bridge area. If you want to snipe, you have the open field in the middle. And if you like the urban combat, you have the town. And one neat little thing, I really like how the town, you could blow it up. OG War Thunder, back when this map was first released, you couldn't blow up the buildings, and it was very, very sad. But then they added the destructible buildings retroactively, and it just made the entire environment just a lot more fun just to fuck around in. You know what I'm saying? It has a bit for everybody. It's a good map. It's a solid map. The only thing I'd knock at points for is the fact that it's a desert, and it can be rather campy at times, but what War Thunder map isn't? Next up is Breslau. Yeah. When I see this map, it's not awful, but I really wish I weren't there. This is not an enjoyment. This is very much I'd rather go to a hardware store and maybe get a little bit creative, if you catch my drift. There are some good points. If you like urban combat, congratulations. That's all this map is. Terrain? Hills? We don't got any of those here. We have spawn-to-spawn corridors where you get sniped by hull-down heat slingers or super tank destroyers. Good luck. You're going to need it. Berlin. Now, when I see Berlin, this is a self-immolation map. When I see Berlin, a lot of times, I might, a crew lock is only like 5 to 8 minutes, right? If you leave at the start of the match. It's rough. Thankfully, you can't play this map at top tier anymore. So that's good. That's really good. If this map was available at, like, lower tiers than 3.7, that would probably make it a little bit better. And I'm glad that at least you can't get this map above 6.7. Which does mean, funnily enough, you can't play Tiger 2s on this map. A lot of late war World War II heavy tanks cannot see Berlin anymore. And I just think that's just fucking hilarious. The only Tiger 2 you can play is the one with the early production turret, the curvy one, But yeah, it's basically rush to the Reichstag. If you make it, cool. Spawn camp. If you don't, go fuck yourself. You've lost the game. GG. Fuck this map. Ass River. Some people will put this in self-immolation tier. Some people wish this map didn't fucking exist. I am almost one of those people. It goes in hardware store trip only because fighting at the top of the hill sometimes can be fun. Is the map completely dominated by whichever team wins the top of that hill? Abso-fucking-lutely. The point that's all the way down at the north end of the map, it's basically worthless to play. It's full of mud. It is just awful. Just awful. Not a lot of cover, especially in the center of the map. Also a lot of mud. It's just good luck getting to B point. and staying there for any amount of time without getting absolutely fucking pub dunked by the team who all spawned on the hill. It just comes down to, if you like fighting on that fucking stupid hill, awesome. You're going to have a great time. Kind of like Carpathians, but we'll get to Carpathians later. But if you don't enjoy fighting on the stupid big hill, this is not the map for you. The fact that it goes up to 7/7 is also kind of quirky. Attica. I had to look up how to pronounce this map. This is a World of Tanks map. The fact that it goes from 1.0 to fucking top tier is also kind of crazy. Playing this map with a T80? Good luck, dude. Of course, you know, people can make it work, and some people are just cracked out of their mind. You can call me bad all you want. Lower tiers, this map isn't that bad. It can be kind of fun, you know? Like that 3.7, 5.7 range. This is a really fun map for those types of vehicles. But, you know, as you get up in tiers, people start developing frontal cortexes and figuring out how to play the game. And then I can't remember what point it was. Not the point with the Colosseum, but the point that's overlooked by two large hills with the low ground in the middle. That just becomes aids to really do anything around. Credit where credit's due. This map does have a fair amount of cover and some alternative routes that are almost impossible to use if anybody is paying attention. But they are there. It is a standard 3-lane map with a little bit of variety. It's not offensive. Do I like playing on it? It's whatever. European Province. Yeah, this map, for top tier, it's fine. Obviously, you can only really play it at top tier, but it's just so fucking boring. It's just so fucking boring. You rush down to the city, and you just play fucking Eastern Europe. Fantastic. Wow. And if you don't, you're getting sniped from like 3 kilometers from guys full bushed up with laser rangefinders, and it's just not a fun time. I mean, if you like it, cool, more power to you. But fuck me, I just like refuse to play this map. Iberian Castle. This map, you know what? This map has some good points and some bad points. I like that on the mini map at the bottom, there's Pac-Man. That's cute. I don't think it was intentional, but hey, Pac-Man's funny. I wouldn't go that way because it would just get sniped into oblivion, but hey, it's there if you like it and you want to do that. The fighting around the castle is fucking AIDS. The thing that this map is named after is probably the most punishing area in the game. Well, of the map to like play. Not in the game. There's more punishing fucking locations to play. We'll encounter that Sun City, but it's not as egregious as those maps. When I get it, I'm not happy about it, but I also don't want to self-immolate, and it's not so offensive as to I want to go to a hardware store and get creative. It's fine. It's like really low where it could go to hardware store at any moment, but it just kind of sits on that razor's edge where it just barely gets into Watt map tier. Campania, or however you pronounce this thing, aka Italy. Why am I putting in Watt map tier? This is hard. This is a strong hardware store trip. It can be fun. Urban combat enjoyers, eat your heart out, because this is that map. If you win the city, you just spawn camp for the rest of the game. It's not that engaging. It's just, there's not a lot to do on this map outside of kind of fight for the roundabout up at the top of the map. There's no cover, really. It's just kind of hold your corner and hope that the enemy team wanders into a sightline and isn't paying attention. It's fine. I don't enjoy this map. I don't really have much of a hardline opinion on it. I think like a lot of these maps would be better if they like this battle rating lock thing. It makes sense for top tier vehicles, but 5.0 plus, this map would be this map would be a fucking banger at like below 5.0. Like your 3.7s, you know, your little light little KVs, you know, because those vehicles like knife fighting. I think I would like it more if it was in more fun battle ratings. Not to say that 5.0 plus isn't fun, it just, that's not what I play. And God fucking forbid you play this map at top tier. It's a map. Don't like it too much. Japan. Fucking... You know what? Japan goes in Watt map tier. I don't like it. It's just not fun at times, but it's not offensively unfun. Sea Point is offensively unfun. God, fighting over there is just so fucking AIDS and so campy. But the A Point, I think it's the A Point, not the center of the map, the side of the map with the two overlooking hills, that can be a surprisingly fun time. Again, if you play this small ass map at top tier, you're going to hate yourself. But this map, like it can have some fun moments. It's just kind of forgettable. Like I get it, and I'm like, wow. And I just do the same thing over and over again, and it's just forgettable. Frozen Pass. I quite like Frozen Pass. Frozen Pass is one of those maps that like, it's a very love-hate relationship, and you'll go through phases where you're like, wow, I fucking hate this map. Why is it in the game? I wish this shit-ass map was never implemented. And then you'll go for phases where, you know what, I had a fairly good time a couple games in a row. Maybe this map isn't all that bad. This map has a lot of cancerous sightlines. You know, and especially in realistic battles, it's not so bad as to, you know, make me lose games due to, wow, I got caught out from a unlucky angle. I always feel like it's my fault when I play this map. I just have fun. I don't know what to describe it. Maybe I just like snow. Snow's cool. Maybe I like getting flashbanged with an HDR monitor whenever I load it up. You know, I like burning up my retinas. But, you know, that top section of the map, not necessarily like the tunnel. I don't really enjoy fighting in the tunnel too much, in like that hill. But that central part to the small town up in the north, I have a lot of fun fighting on the ridge lines and around the church there. And, you know, I have fun. I think it's a fairly good map. Unfortunately, despite its old nature, Gaijin never really learned. Frozen Pass gets a pass. You know what doesn't get a pass? Fucking Mozdok. Holy shit. Every version of Mozdok is the worst map in existence. There was a version of the map, I don't know if it's still in rotation, it probably isn't at this point, where the second you spawned in, especially at top tier, you could shoot spawn to spawn off rip. You could not fucking move. It's not as bad now, but it's still really fucking bad. There are a couple power positions up in the north that they put little, oh, if you stand here for 20 seconds, you'll explode. But there's also power positions down in the south that they didn't do that for. And the fact that whichever team gets that central B point first just wins outright. They're just going to spawn camp the other team. And there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. It's just that central part of Mozdok is so unbelievably dominant that it just makes everything else completely irrelevant, because you can't play any other parts of the map because it's just open, 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 and guess what? A little bit more open. There's no fucking cover. Mozdok, from the bottom of my heart, go fuck yourself. Padesh. Basically, everything I said about Mozdok kind of applies here, except for the fact I played Padesh twice and wanted to commit grand joy twice. Yeah, it's just not a good time. I do not enjoy Padesh. It has a cool ring road. I think the map itself ranges from, hey, this looks kind of pretty, to, wow, this is bland and open and bland and open. Don't get me started on the new fucking air version of the map where they didn't fix the fucking cloud cover, but that's for air battles and not ground. Fuck Padesh. This map is just not a fun time. I'm happy that I have not played it nearly enough to make an objective opinion about the map. I just have blind hatred for the few games I've played on it and absolutely hated all the time I spent on that map. Port Novarisk. This map is so unoffensive. Well, it's offensively unoffensive. When I get it nowadays, you know what? I don't mind it. Especially at the lower battle ratings, it can be, a fun little shitter fest if you enjoy, your little urban combat. There's lots of cover. Some of the sight lines are kind of bullshit, but the only version of the map that's like left in game can be fun. If you get the rail yard, God save your soul. The top city part, hey, that's pretty good at times and in moderation. The old version of Port Novarisk would have put itself in self-immolation tier because holy shit, that fucking rush to B point was so AIDS, it wasn't even funny, but we don't got that anymore. And instead, we got main battle tanks playing on a map that was designed for fucking 1.0s, basically. Again, a lot of these maps don't work at top tier. I'm sure Padesh is probably more enjoyable when everybody is running around with thermals and laser rangefinders. Same thing with Moz. Mozdok's still always ass. But that's going to be a running complaint of mine. Me disliking maps at top tier because, well, they don't work for vehicles that with an average engagement distance of 2 kilometers, right? Hey, but that's just me. Red Desert. I don't enjoy playing Red Desert, but I love the map. Red Desert is fucking beautiful. I don't know what it is about this map that just gives me the right energy. I don't enjoy playing it because it's just fucking campy snipe fest, but I enjoy it solely based off of it just looks pretty. I love red sand. It just looks nice. Not a fun map just because of just how campy it is, but if you like the campy snipey playstyle, hey, that's Red Desert's for you. But outside of that, I mean, yawn. But I enjoy the map because it just looks nice. And that's the only reason why it's up here. Is that a good reason? Absolutely not. But it's my reason, because this is my tier list. And if you don't like it, that sucks. Servetsk 13. Why did I do that? Servetsk 13. This is a very inoffensive map. It, has some fun urban combat. The A point at times can be rough because that city with the central plaza and the fountain in the center can be very campy, and it's very hard to break that if both teams hard dig in. But there's enough flank routes to kind of circumvent that. The furthest left point, no one really plays, and if you do play it, you're a goat. It's a fun time sometimes. It's inoffensive. It's 3-lane slop. It's a fine map, I guess. Advance to the Rhine. This is probably my I don't know if I want to say that. It's close to one of my favorite maps in the entire game. You either love this map to death, or you hate it. There is no in between. I'm of the camp where I fucking love this map. There's just how the streets are laid out, how they kind of come together, and there's just so many fun angles that you can play off of. It's not so overwhelming as to you just aren't able to mentally keep track of all the places where you can get shot from. It's small enough that, going from spawn to the battlefield isn't so tedious. There's enough going on in such a small space. It's like junk food, right? The sightlines aren't too overwhelming. There were some cancer spots. There probably still are cancer spots, but I just, haven't encountered them in a fat minute. It has everything. Well, not everything. It has all the things that I like sometimes. Does that make sense? Probably not. But hey, I like this map. And I think you should too. And if you don't, that's okay. That's fair. I respect your opinion. Volokolemsk. Wow. Ever since they brought this fucking map back into the game, I always wondered why. There's other legacy maps that were removed that you could reasonably bring back, like White Rock Fortress. You may notice that that's not in this tier list. It's because that map does not exist anymore. But Volokolemsk is one of the maps that should have stayed dead. It just should have. This map has nothing really redeemable. It's so just boring, if that makes sense. It's so punishing to really try to do anything. That far right point is just so fucking campy. It's so easy to spawn camp on this map. It's Volokolemsk. And there is a version of this map that is just way worse, and that's Surroundings of Volokolemsk. I'm going to skip a couple just because I feel like it. Surroundings of Volokolemsk is just Volokolemsk, but so much worse. And there's just, I don't really want to elaborate further. If you're a Volokolemsk enjoyer, you're wrong, and that's just how it is. And if you think I'm wrong, that's just how it is. I fucking hate these maps. Sands of Sinai has all the same problems as fucking Surroundings of Volokolemsk, except this time I'm actually going to really talk about it. This map just evolves into, wow, I sit on the rocks, and I camp, and I hold a sightline, and you can't do anything. Great, fantastic, cool. Next fucking map. 38th parallel. Wow, this spawn to spawn fucking camp fest. This map has pretty much nothing redeemable going for it. I like the big dam. It would be cool if I could, Battlefield 4, blow up the dam. That'd be awesome. But War Thunder is, not a modern game, so we can't have cool modern features from, 2010. 30th parallel. I don't know. It can go fuck itself. I hate this map. Every time I see this map, I just jay out. It's just not a good time. Sometimes that central rock in the middle of the map can be fun to play around, but that's a hard sometimes, and not nearly enough times for me to consider ever wanting to play that piece of shit. Carpathians. It's awful. Self-immolation. This fucking map is cancer. You can't play the middle point because you'll get sniped from the hill. You can't play the furthest right point because you get sniped from the hill. You can't push into the furthest right point at all if you lose the initial engagement. There is no way to come back on this map. There just isn't. Unless someone goes absolutely fucking sicko mode and clears the hill or something, you just lose. If you do not win that top hill, you just lose. If the fact that there's two fucking little cancer corridors that lead into C Point means that if one team wins it, you cannot push back out because the corridor provides basically zero cover except for from the hill. But if you lose the hill also, if you try and push into C, you die from the hill. If you win C and you don't get the hill, you die from the hill. If you try to push B, you die from both sides. If you try to do fucking anything, I don't know, Gaijin comes into your room with a baseball bat and starts smashing your fucking nuts. This map is awful. Get it out of the game. Why is Volcalypse allowed to come back? I thought so I'm just back on Volcalypse, but pretty much every single fucking map here, except for maybe Berlin, is completely irredeemable. Cargo port. It's fine. Cargo port. It's fine. It's 3-lane slop. It's flat. There is basically 0 height difference from spawn to spawn. It's fine. The sightlines aren't too unreasonable. You can go fast on it because pretty much everywhere is paved. There's enough flank routes that, if you want to play a flanky, aggressive playstyle, you can somewhat reasonably do that. It's fine. This is Kuban, isn't it? Kuban. This is a solid hardware store trip for me. That bottom point can be annoying as fuck. It's pretty much just a heavy tank alley. The top A point can be fun at times, like the top point. The map doesn't flow well, if that makes sense. And there's just too many places to get shot from a lot of the times where, you're just doing your thing and then suddenly you're just ambushed over a hill, or you get shot from this fuck-ass angle from a guy who's like sitting in a weird fucking rock position from across the map. I don't hate playing on it. I just don't enjoy playing on it. Finland. This is another fuck-ass map. Self-immolation tier, despite it being so fucking cold. I don't understand how Gaijin thinks that this map can be played at top tier, but hey, they're the game developers. They get to make the choices. This map just fucking blows. You can't play the left side because you just get sniped out and die. You can't play the middle because you get sniped out and die. You can't play the right because you get sniped out and die. And there's really no in between. Instead of 3 corridors, you get 4. Wow. Fuck off, please. Stalingrad. This one's hard. I don't hate this map. I sometimes enjoy it. It's just fine. Some people will disagree, but, I saw, like, the new look for Stalingrad, and I think the map kind of looks sexy. I don't dislike this map. I think the central point is a little AIDS, but fighting around the factory, the tractor factory, can be fairly enjoyable. The bottom with like the big oil drum things, that's campy as hell. And that back hill from the south spawn can be pretty AIDS to deal with. But generally speaking, this map's fairly dynamic. I like all the ways. This is one of the few maps where I don't hate all the ways you can get shot, because it's small enough that you can be aware of those things. It's fine. It's a fine map. I'm no real complaints. Jungle. If you win the center, cool, you won. If you didn't win the center, you fucking lose. But sometimes there's a little bit of nuance there. This map, despite being called a jungle, has next to no vegetation on it. Both this map and Vietnam had their vegetation nerfed because people couldn't see shit. Brother, you're playing on a map called Jungle. Jungles aren't known for their visibility, but hey, what do I know? This map, it's not enjoyable, but if you sometimes hitting that bottom path, shooting into the big hill, that can be fun at times. A lot of funky things you can do with those slight defilades if you're playing a vehicle with just low enough a profile that you're able to dodge shots from the right side top spawn's little bunker area. There's too many angles that you can get shot from, and if you lose that central hill, you just get spawn camped. It's whatever. I don't enjoy that map. Ground Zero. Ground Zero is Alaska. I don't like Alaska. In fact, I fucking hate Alaska. So putting a nuke in it, that's S tier. That is Myoshi's love. I fucking love Ground Zero solely because they nuked Alaska, and I fucking hate Alaska. You know what? Let's talk about Alaska. Alaska is probably the worst map in the entire fucking game, bar none. There are so many angles that you can't keep track of. You try and fight in the center of the city, you just get shot from every fucking which way like it's a fucking bukkake. There's nowhere to sit. You want to sit underneath the bridges on the far left? Good. You get sniped and die. You want to go fight on the little plaza thing with a couple rocks? Congratulations, you get sniped and die. You try and play the center. Congratulations, you get sniped and die. There is not enough terrain variation. There is not enough cover. And but somehow there's too much cover. It's that weird dichotomy of where, I think I used that word wrong, I don't really care right now. But the map is so perfectly set up to be such a campy fucking slogfest that anyone who ever thought about visiting Alaska were going to cancel their fucking plane ticket and probably shoot down the plane in the meantime because they don't want anyone else to experience the horribleness of being anywhere near that fuck-ass state. If you're from Alaska, I love you. I just hate this map. Sorry. Kisses. Ardennes. Or Wallonia? Whichever one you want to call it. It's campy as fuck. It's just... You play the version of the map that's just a town in a straight line at top tier. Every road gets fucking clogged instantly with corpses. This map wasn't so bad when the corpses despawned after a time, but this is one of the few maps in the game where the corpses persisting after death is horrific. It's just not big enough. This map is just too fucking small. The fact that it can be on top tier is a fucking joke. The bigger versions of the map, I don't think are that bad. Yeah, they have some cancer-ass sightlines, but there is enough cover within variations in the ridge lines that you could reasonably argue that, you know, you can fight back, and, you know, it's not end-all be-all, you're just fucked. That being said, there are versions of that map, like the one with the little fucking town square, that is just unreasonable. There's nowhere to hide. You just fucking spawn and instantly blow up. It's just not a good map in any which way of the variants for it. Do I hate it? Not really. It's inoffensive, but just not fun to play. Speaking of inoffensive, but not fun to play, Abandoned Town. I am really debating, because I've had some fun games. I think the urban combat here is fun at times. It can be fun. That top point is just AIDS. I don't know what other word to say. It's just, you get dug in up there. You're not going anywhere anytime soon, and it's kind of funny. But the central town fight itself, I find that to be rather enjoyable. The stream flank route, that's a little bit too open for my liking, but the town itself, it's just a worse version of Advance to the Rhine. It's fine. I mean, do I necessarily enjoy it? Not really. It could be worse. I'm going to move it. It's not quite hardware store trip. It's a Watt map. It goes Watt map. Middle East. This is going to ruffle some feathers. I enjoy Middle East. I think Middle East is a horribly designed map. I think Middle East has some awful power positions that need to be addressed. But do I hate playing Middle East? No. I don't know what it is. Despite all odds, every time I roll this map, I have a fun time. I don't know if it's, my aggressive, I'm going to see if I can get into the hangar within 15 seconds of spawning type playstyle, but Middle East hits all the fucking little autism spectrums in my brain, where You know, if I'm darting my eyes all over the place, I'm tracking all the fucking sight lines, and I'm throwing a dart at a guy who just slightly wasn't paying attention, just drives into like the latest sliver, boom, he's gone. I don't know why it works here and not in other maps. I don't get it. I just enjoy the Middle East. I don't know if you picked up on this, but this tier list is a mix of maybe I'm being objective, maybe it's just fucking vibes and I'm off the fucking goop. The last two enjoyment tier picks, probably off the goop. But hey, this is my tier list. Fold a gap. Can fold a gap in my ass. That's gay. Anyways, this map is boring as shit, has no cover, and is just, haha, we're poking at each other through ridgelines. I wish the castle was interesting to play around, but it just simply isn't. The place that the castle overlooks just isn't interesting either. It's just a big open field of fuck all where the guys who are camping the ridgeline get to have fun, and anyone who's trying to play the objectives gets to, I don't know, enjoy the look of their hangar. I don't really, there's not much more I can say about it. It's ass. Birchkin Forest. This is another map where you can just shoot into the other guy's spawn. People rush the forest, they get dug in and hold down positions that are overlooking your spawn. You get fucked in the ass. Moving on. Fire Arc is Kursk, but with a couple buildings. Congratulations. Yeah. Arctic. Arctic base, Arctic. It's forgettable. There's versions that are 3-lane, versions that are not 3-lane, but generally speaking, it just follows the same 3-lane formula. If you try and peek over some of the ridgelines, you just get bopped from across the map. I think this map would be fun at lower tiers, 6.7 plus. I would really consider maybe you should lower the battle rating on that, considering that, you know, we have World War II maps at top tier and some very modern maps at low tier. Cargo port. So why can't Arctic be at low tier? I think I would like it more if it was. It's forgettable. It's kind of a nothing burger. North Holland. Do I hate North Holland? I don't. I think fighting around the mall can be fun at times, but this map is a slog to play. It is literally, you're just going forward, and that's it. Wow. Fucking revolutionary gameplay. You just go forward. Right, fantastic. Moving on. American Desert. This map is one of those weird maps where it's either the most fun you'll ever have or it's self-immolation tier. And for that, it goes in hardware store trip. I like some parts of this map quite a lot. I like the fact that the train moves. That's cute. That's pretty much it. Sometimes the urban fight can be fun, but there's just so many weird sight lines that are so fucking punishing, and it's very easy to get spawn camped on this map to the point where if the teams are balanced and, you know, everyone's, you know, having a good old time punching each other in the middle, that can be fun. But outside of that, it's really not a good time. Poland. Yikes. The visual revamp of Poland, it really didn't change a whole lot. It can be fun. It's a pretty map now. It's just playing this map at anything other than low tier makes me want to fucking explode. It's just too small. And the big versions of Poland have all the same problems as a European province, and that map can go fuck itself. So Poland, unfortunately, You get to join the go fuck yourself tier. Karelia, go fuck yourself. Holy shit, this map is fucking Carpathians levels of complete and utter dog shit. You can shoot spawn to spawn pretty much immediately. All flank routes are fairly useless. If you win the central hill, you win the map. Big fucking womp. This map blows. Flanders blows in a different way. It has a cool track. I think the map visually looks pretty. I love the fucking World War I trench aesthetic. But fuck me, does this map just suck to play on at times. The fact that you get this map at top tier is kind of crazy, considering that there's almost no fucking cover, and it's just ridge lines and getting spawn camped. Cool. The spawns aren't as egregious as, say, Karelia or Eastern Province, but it's still not very good. It's just way too open for what it is. I think this is Maginot. Yeah. I love Maginot. Despite its openness and potential to be campy, it plays surprisingly fluid. The city, I think, is very underutilized, but it's so tight, so dense that you can do some quirky stuff in there. The field on the right side is very fun for sniper duels. There's enough defilades that you can like sneak your light tanks around. It's a fun map. I like playing in the middle. I like playing on the far right, and I sometimes like playing a city. It has everything that I love, and you know, despite it being French, it gets my seal of approval. I like this map. I think it's a fun map. Aral Sea is one of those maps that I used to fucking despise, but nowadays, this is a hard enjoyment here. This map has that same weird vibe as Middle East, but amplified, where you can just get sniped from like weird fuck you angles, but it feels a little bit, it feels kind of fair, unless it's like out in like the field with like those couple ships, then it's not, and it's just terrible. But outside of trying to snipe on this map, playing the town and hoping you don't get, you know, third-partied by some fuckwit up in the corner can be fun. And it's just playing a vehicle that's like very low profile and just kind of like slinking around like a fucking snake and then popping up. It feels nice. Is it spawn campy as hell? A little bit. Is the far left point complete cancer to play? Abso-fucking-lutely. There's no cover there. But did I still have fun doing it? Surprisingly, yes. Test site 2271? I don't remember what it's called. Test site something or other. This has to be the most forgettable map in the entire fucking game. It's just, it feels like Servetsk 13. It plays like Servetsk 13. Congratulations, you're basically just Servetsk 13. Honk shoe. Eastern Europe. You can get this map at top tier, which is really fucking funny. And you kind of just drive forward. And sometimes it's fun. You know what? You just kind of drive forward. Yeah. Yeah, you just kind of drive forward. Yeah, you just kind of drive forward. It's not quite WAP map. Sometimes I have fun. It's just there's really no viable blanks unless you're just like really fucking sneaky and you just fucking drive into their spawn and kill everybody. The Central River doesn't really do a whole lot. Yeah, I think it's hard restore. You just kind of drive forward. You know, I was a little bit hyped after talking about Aral Sea, but then I just realized Eastern Europe, you just kind of drive forward. Second battle of fucking something. This map, hard enjoyment. yeah, I enjoy this map sometimes. The dunes are large enough and pronounced enough that you can pop up one place, fire a shell, fuck off, and move to a different position, and you don't really get punished for that too often. It's very open. If you're not fighting in the big desert dune area, I don't know really what you're doing, because the other parts of the map aren't the most fun. The central little town, that part of the map is fucking cancer, IMO. But the top part and the big sandy area, those I find can be fairly fun. Your heavy tank duels up on that hill, and your sniper duels down on A, and with repositioning with light tanks. It can be fun. There are spots up in that middle area that kind of ruin it, but it's not so egregious as to make me want to bash my skull into a wall, nor is this map forgettable enough to be in Watt map tier. I have fun. It can be fun. I enjoy it. Golden Quarry is my favorite map in the game. It is probably the only map that they've added recently that has been good. I think 90% of the maps that they added to this game have been complete and utter fucking garbage outside of vibes. Golden Quarry has both my vibes, because I like me some factories. I like me some digging stuff. I like the big dump trucks. I like the fucking big claw thing that scoops out the sides of mountains. I think that shit's awesome. I think this map has a little bit of everything for everyone. It has reasonable sight lines. It has reasonable flank routes. It has reasonable cover spawn to spawn. It's a fun map, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I just wish more people also enjoyed it. Normandy is one of those maps that you drive forward. That's about it. I think the sightlines of this map are rather unreasonable at times, and especially if you get Fields of Normandy, you can go fuck yourself. That being said, some of my highest kill games are on Normandy. Because if you just kind of go sicko mode in the city, you go sicko mode in the city. You clap everybody. But is fighting in the city very fun? No. If you try and push out to the church, you get fucked in the ass. If you try and take the little side roads, congratulations, there's nowhere to go. You get fucked in the ass. You try and play the field, congratulations, you have no cover. You get fucked in the ass. There's a lot of ass fuckery here, and there's not much really that you can do on this map to have fun unless you really enjoy sitting and camping. Fighting up by there are parts that can be fun, like fighting around like that statue area just off the coast, not on the beaches, but just above the beaches. That can be some pretty fun, nerve-wracking gaming right there. But that one spot doesn't redeem the map. That's just how it is. Sinai is a solid map. The central area isn't too overbearing. The side flank route, the left side of the map sucks. Don't play it. But fighting and playing around the ridges on the right side is fun, and I have a lot of fun doing it. It's a fine map. It's enjoyable. Do I hate it? No. Do I enjoy it? A little bit. I kind of repeated myself there, but I don't really care. I feel like the self spawn is biased to win a lot of the time, but I also end up getting the self spawn a lot of the time, and I don't know why. So I'm not complaining. If it's a good map, it's a fun map. God rest your soul if you have to encounter these maps at top tier, because it suddenly becomes kind of AIDS because you can't push at all. But at lower tiers, you can push, and it can be a lot of fun. Abandoned Factory. It's it's a slop map, but it's a fun, it's some tasty ass slop. The A point, not the A point. Is it the A point? I don't remember. Rail yard fucking blows. The sightlines on it are atrocious. Playing in the center of the map either is the most fun experience ever or just straight up the worst. Now that I'm saying these things out loud, I'm starting to realize that maybe I don't like Abandoned Factory as much as I think I do. So I'm going to drop it down to Watt Map tier because it is 3-lane slop. The sightlines can be a bit unreasonable, and if you win that top right point, you literally just spawn camp the enemy team both ways. There's not a lot of protection there. Comeback ability is fairly low because everyone just fights over the right side. No one ever really plays the center, at least as much as I think they should. It's whatever. 3-lane slop. It can be fun. It cannot be fun. It's mid. What's not mid? Sun City. If you played this map, you know. This map is flat. Its sightlines are so fucking harsh that the only way to play this map is to sit and camp, because all you have are corners, and guess what? A few more corners with long stretches of highway in between you and whatever poor fucker who just decided to drive out into the open. Sun City just sucks. Spaceport. A unfun map with some fun aspects. The top side with like the bridge and like all the little dunes, it's a fun to Ridgeline Warrior. Outside of that, I don't really have a lot of experience playing this map, and I think the rest of it kind of blows. Does it make me want to self-immolate? No, it just makes me want to play a different battle rating so I don't encounter it. It's not the worst map by far. It's just kind of forgettable and unenjoyable. But, it was added in April Fool's, so I guess the joke's on us. Sweden. I like this map. I like this map. I think, no, I don't like this map as much as I think I do. This map, it's just urban combat. If you like urban combat, that's great. I think some of the street-to-street sightlines can be a little much. It's not as egregious as, say, Sun City or Northern Holland, but it's fine. It's a really middle-of-the-road map. 3 lanes, there's lots of little flank routes, but everything's just kind of flat. It works fine for a lower battle rating map. If you play this shit with modern vehicles, it's just too small for that. But, it's fine. Vietnam, to round this out. A lot of people hate Vietnam. Vietnam, just like Jungle, got pretty much all of its vegetation removed. And is a very open map now, because there's just nowhere to hide. Fighting the city isn't very fun. There is a sweet spot in between the top point and the middle point that actually is a lot of fun to play. Like with those like big mangroves or whatever they're called. Dipping around there, you can genuinely ambush people, and it can be a lot of fun. Bring back the fucking trees. I don't know why we took them away. I don't know why we decided to make a place that is known for its lack of visibility due to vegetation the least vegetated place on the fucking planet. Like, I swear some of these desert maps have more vegetation than both Vietnam and Jungle combined at times, and it's kind of fucking crazy. I mean, I think it's just kind of fine. If you play it, cool. If you don't, who's faulting you? It doesn't stand out as a map that, fills me with guttural rage. And that's everything here. Is there any maps I really want to change around? I mean, obviously there are maps that should not be as high as they are, but they're only there for vibes alone. And there's maps that, you know, I put fairly low that could go up, but I'm not going to because of one or two little quirks, so to say. This is the tier list. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing. If you did not enjoy it, please consider telling me to commit the big joy in the comments below. That's fine too. You're entitled to your own opinions, and I don't respect that. But that's okay, because it's my opinion to not respect your opinions, because obviously I'm right. Happens. Hope you enjoyed. Hey! Thanks for watching the video to the end. If you liked it, well, assuming you made it here, you probably did. Thank you for liking it. And if you want me to make a tier list on something else, or just talk about something else, tell me, and maybe I'll just do it. I like ideas. If you got them, I'll take them.